Okay, so I think I'm gonna move away from random and just try to have some sort of a theme for each of these sort of normal run episodes. And one that kind of stood out to me was there was a brief discussion on the main Monster Train Discord on like what people thought the worst clan combo was. And I don't have a single clan combo that I would say. I just have a set of them that I would say, and generally they're going to be involving the three middle clans right here, because they're the most likely to like miss on scaling. Or sorry, these four really. I gave Tethys Dregs, Tethys Restore, Penumbra Restore, and Sentient Plinks as my candidates for various reasons. But one that I can usually see the logic for what most people said, but one of them that came up a bit was Soulguard Imps, which is one I just hard disagree with. And I think the comments were like that, like, and even the comments about it just were very different than what I think. Like, I think the comments were like that Forgone Power and Queen's Imps are like such bad starters that like you can't rely on them early, which just kind of seemed about as opposite from my experience as possible. In my eyes, these are hands down the two strongest like starting cards in terms of like the start of the game. They obviously fall off late, but I mean this thing often can kill 2 units. Like it makes collectors easy to kill. It gives you extra chump blocking. I mean, the actual damage output of both of these together is like unrivaled on starters. Plus, Soulguard is just a good champ, right? And also the two clans, like even though there's some anti-incant synergy, the two clans just synergize so well that it overcomes that one single anti-synergy, right? There's armor synergy, there's rage synergy, there's sweeper having a plethora of scaling synergy. There's just a lot you have to miss on. So as a result, like this particular combo to me doesn't even register as a bad clan combo. I'd even put it in the upper half of clan combos. I would never put anything that includes Wormkin or Hellhound in my personal like bad list, because to me those clans are so self-sufficient that you could literally have a potato with them and they're gonna do fine. But you know, that is my intro to this. We'll see if it holds true. Will it actually be tough? I doubt it. I really think this is a strong combo. Tell us the pusher. The others aren't too bad. Decent starters. Alright, we don't get Titan Channel, so it's already... But, you know, on that note, it's a combo that supports Cold Channel as well, right? So, technically I don't have any support for it right now, but we might end up with it. You know, if we don't need it. Like, okay. Impsicle is very... Also, just the plethora of good artifacts between these clans is just another positive, right? When I think of like Umbra and Awoken, they have horrible artifacts. So it's like, I just would not include Hellhorn in any bad list, but we'll see. So Impsicle really definitely, both of these kind of commit more toward Hellhorn, which I typically would say you want to do in this combo. You typically want to go lean into Hellhorn more than Stygian. I do like an Impsicle, I think, but the Forever Flame, I mean, I'd like them both together, honestly. Forever Flame could open up, like, if this is really bad, because I'd probably go here, right? I'd probably go to the Merchant of Steel. If it is, like, Demon Fiend or Alpha Fiend, Forever Flame opens them up a bit more. Also, if I do end up with just an Endless Imp, that's better served with a Forever Flame. I think the Impsicle would provide me more value right now, but I don't need value right now because, again, I have not necessarily a strong champ. Cold Channel isn't that good early, but I'm telling you, like, I probably won't do it here, but, you know, when that comment is made that these starters are weak, I honestly think you could beat any Ring 1 ignoring the entire deck out and just only use Forgotten Powers and Queen's Imps. I'd be interested to try that, but I think I'm just going to play it as normal for now. I'm not really in the mood to make life so miserable on myself. Certainly, yeah, I don't know. Alright, so we do have some stuff here, but I don't think it'll be too much of an issue. So this is the easy answer there. And just matters, I guess, where we're going to put this. I guess I should have put it down first, huh? Oh well. Put that there. And another nice thing is, you know, even comparing this to like Torch, this would make it so if the dude came here, I still get the kill, right? And again, I'm saving a lot of health here, right? And we simply just kill it. That dude had 6 health, now he's dead, and I have 2 blockers here. I'm telling you, it's, they're good starters. Obviously this guy has trample, but that's no big deal. Alright, we unluck there, but whatever. So as you can see, 31 Frostbite from, I mean there's some help from Cold Channel, but mainly Forgotten Powers, right? Like, you'll kill any boss early, maybe they leak a hit or two, but you'll kill any boss early with Forgotten Power in massive form, you know? I mean, it's on, maybe Fracture can kind of compare, but nothing else can really compare to the actual damage output that Forgotten Power gives. I mean, it can do up to like 100 damage on the boss. You're not going to get that out of Torches, you're not going to get that out of Frozen Lances, you're not going to get that out of anything, even Fractures. Now, these are the type of cards we would take if we needed help early, which I really don't think we do. Maybe if we were seeing a double Stygian banner, I'd be open to also just adding cards, because obviously one of the downsides, as we mentioned, or the only, I would say the only downside of this combo is the skew toward units. So like adding any spell if it's halfway decent could make sense if it seems like incant is something that you need to do, but it really doesn't seem to me right now that incant is something that I need to do. So I would probably skip these because they're just not that great. Alright, we take, maybe I take a Fortify over a Welder Helper here. This all really comes down to if we're really going to lean into Cold Channel. If I take the Fortify, I almost think I should go left here and actually try to do an incant deck. You know, we could get Holdover in the Fortify, hope for a Spell Chain. I don't think it's like super consistent, but technically right now we don't have any actual scaling aside from, you know, potentially incant. Welder Helper also supports the Soul Guard, but not in terms of incant. Welder Helper might be nice if I go to the right. Give an option at Endless. It's not necessarily going to be a good Endless, but again, Given that there's no steel ring too, if I do find a fledgling here, it wouldn't be horrible just to put that into the welder helper, or vice versa. Well, we would put it into the welder helper because it's already endless if that's the case. Also has a little bit more synergy with the Forever Flame. I believe we could take that. I think I will. Like I said, lean into Hellhorned. I could actually see Alpha Fiend here. Alpha Fiend into a sweeper would make it so I don't actually have to hit Rage. Though again, if I do that, maybe we want to go left. And Alpha Fiend could work anyway. The Forever Flame makes it a lot less bad. We could also just take Siren of the Sea. Do some sort of an incant thing. I'm going to take the Alpha Fiend. I think it opens up multi-strike here if this is a brick. Alright, we have a quick... Alpha Fiend into Hornweir can work. Could also just go Steelworker into Alpha Fiend. Or just take a Steelworker and don't put it into the Alpha Fiend. You know, I could have a Steelworker with the Cold Channel, and maybe... I definitely reroll here and don't take Quick, I know that. I think I'll take the Steelworker, and I will reroll here. Yes, I want 25 health. Which I don't know that I do. Yeah, we could put it there just in case. It's an okay upgrade. Darn, we wanted endless or multi, we got neither. It's just how it goes sometimes. Could make a big stew. I don't think I'll need it here. Alpha Fiend kind of is big stew in a way. So, I will say we are bricking pretty hard here, but that's fine. We'll show how the seed goes when you brick on literally everything, so let's go. Should be a pretty easy fight. Let's go here, I think, with this Karuk. Alright, still haven't taken a single damage to my pirate, by the way. While relatively bricking on everything. You know, I've hit no rage cards. No real synergies going on yet. I've taken all of the trials, I've taken some shards, not many, but yeah. I think I've already at least proven that there's no way that the starters are weak. Not feeling these unless... I guess we could definitely take the offering token. It's still possible we might get pigeonholed into an incant deck, and this is a fine card for an incant deck. Alright, so we've missed on Rage completely. Keep in mind that's unlikely to miss on both of Fledgling and Ritual, but that's fine. The great thing about Hellhorn is we still have plenty of ways to get there. But, you know, unlike something like Awoken that has one card, Razor Sharp Edge, I had 2 cards I could hit. So we had to miss on 2 cards compared to 1. And even when I do, unlike Awoken, I have options at the uncommon and rare tier to scale still. We'll take the Vent though. It's looking more likely we may have to go incant, at least in the interim. And I think we go to the right here. We may need to start looking for an incant unit if possible. Okay, those are not good for us at all. These are not incant units, but I could go Cold Kalia with the Alpha Fiend Infusion. That is acceptable. I also didn't get a Hidden Passage, which would have helped this work out. I don't know though, Titan Sentry's pretty good, and the Endless Welder Helper is not so good right now. If I take this, Endless opens up here as being pretty good. Weird temple placement. I think I'm going to go with a sweeper plan. I think this is just going to be solid. We'll probably run a 2-floor setup. I still can hit Endless on the Willow Helper, and that would be my way to, you know, scale the Kokalia defensively. I might commit to it right now too. Let's see what this is. I'm not seeing any good ×5. I think if I ×5, I just wouldn't ×5 any of this. But I would probably Hellvent like Hornbreak or something, I don't know. Maybe I could Hellvent the Welder Helper. You know what, let's see. If it's the only thing a unit infusion wheel would want would be Spike Driver Colony, and I don't think I'd use that on any of this. Is that true? I'm thinking maybe Alpha Fiend Spike Driver could be okay. But my thought is, like, I could put the Alpha Fiend into Kokalia, and if it's ×5 event, I could just Hellvent it for free. Just once. You know, I could run 2 of them, and that wouldn't be horrible. You know, well, I think it actually would be pretty bad. Yeah, let's just go to this now. This is another actual kind of slight punish for not fusing them beforehand, because now, if I do... Well, actually there is no punish here, because it's just a -1 anyway, it's not a microstone. I don't know that I would -1 it. You know, it just brings it down to a 2, and it does use up a slot. It should be fine though, right? I could actually run Steelworker on the floor with it then. I will say the hammer has anti-synergy with the Alpha Fiend plus Cold Kalia combo. You know, this way I can run Steelworker with the unit. I don't know that I'd want to do Welder Helper. I might be open to just... Yeah, let's... I don't think the Wingmaker is good here. Let's commit to this. So this is pretty unconventional, I would say. But at the same time, it's an option. It's just an additional option. It's when we low roll our ass off, right? Oh my god, that is not what I meant to do. I thought I was for some reason I thought I was choosing the Engage pack. Well, that was a pretty bad fucking miss. I was gonna Hellvent the Steelworker. Alright, whatever. We'll just show how you can make a massive mistake and still win, I guess. That's how I'll spin it. I don't think we need to do any of that. We can just fight. But yeah, that's pretty shitty. I definitely wanted 2 of these, because my plan was to self-infuse the Steelworker, but also just have 2 of them right now. That's a pretty bad miss. Oh well. I still think we're going to win. I wasn't going to self-infuse this now. It would be a future self-infuse, but it would just be nice to have 2 Steelworkers right now. You know, one feeds this, one feeds the other guy. Now I actually have to kind of determine what I want to do here. I think we'll go like this. Alright, it is Telos the Pusher. Probably is going to be a sweeper. We could drop back to that Alpha Fiend. This is just kind of building. Do I need to draw to the Alpha Fiend, I wonder? I don't, like, super need to. Well, I should, though. So we're just building this floor up for Relentless. We're probably going to have to leak a little bit. Now, just keep in mind how massively better it would have been if I had, instead of an Alpha Fiend there, a Steelworker. Like, that would have been such a smoother turn. But, alas, can't win them all, right? We're not really going to be able to use that because those didn't get... I could horn break it if I have to. I could horn break it if I have to. Just to get it ready for... we do want to get it ready for that Alpha Fiend eventually. We'll have this... I do need to make sure that this survives both these hits, because Telos will be here next turn. Alright, that's fine. It's like the worst possible timing. There's fine. Okay, so that's dead. We're guaranteed Alpha Fiend next turn. Now, all things considered, with the massive fuck up, it's still only lost 4 health. I'd say that's okay. And there we go. Dark deal. Don't even really need to do the Alpha Fiend stuff now, except it's just nice to have. We'll commit to Steelworker with that. Okay, we have options here. Deranged Brute is so good. I do kind of wonder if Steelworker's better, though. I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure we run it as Steelworker into the Brute, and then Sweeper. Totally didn't need the Alpha Fiend infusion. but it was there if we needed it. We could eventually take a pip upgrade. Right now I'm going to go draw though. It might make sense to run 2 of those ranged brutes though, depending on what comes up. Looking for basically anything here other than... I think a quick here is actually the best thing we could find. I really don't mind the quick. And let's reroll for health. Armor and cant can work. We would prefer health, but right now we'll just lock that in. Such an awkward non-temple though. We get rid of the other Alpha Fane that we accidentally added. Eventually a Steelworker goes in here. I could Hellvent that thing. What to get rid of now? I don't necessarily feel super comfortable into Stealth Boss at the moment. Well, let's get rid of a Steward, I guess. They're really not that bad. Firewall, Clippings, Cheater's Hand. Clippings has literally nothing for us right now, but it could be pretty good if we get a Last Stand. But that's just unnecessary. I think we would take the Firewall here, because none of the other stuff does that much for us. Cheater's Hand can be really good here if you're trying to overstack stuff. We could make a big stew. That would, or actually a big imp maybe, would really help with a potential stealth boss. Probably unnecessary, honestly. But since I'm not spending money coming up, I'm almost certainly just gonna Hellvent. Am I? I think I'm Hellventing the Dark Deal. I don't know, I could go to the Magic and 50-50 holdover on it. I feel like I've been burned by that so many times. You know, double stack those, good too. So I have, you know, either of those that I could hit. Maybe even both. I think we actually will just go to the right here. Because then I can go to the left there. I can go right here, and then I have a Hellvent that likely has a better deranged brute, and at that point I can take a pip upgrade and have the Hellvent meaningful. So that being said, I'll hold on to the money then, since I'm going to Merchant of Magic. We could flex Titan Channel, but this is a throwaway unit now. We might as well just, you know, have it not be phased, because we don't want to waste incants there. Heaven's Seal. We got just enough for this guy to multi-strike. Heaven's Seal could be an issue here. For an artifact, probably not, even though there's good artifacts. Okay, do we want Deranged Brute in this fight? I don't think we do. Actually, we probably do, because I can still run these guys down here. Do I want to do that? I think I do. Alright, definitely doing that. Taking a hit there. Definitely good we didn't take Heaven's Seal then. Guess I want to take care of Fucko in the back there. Alright, they're all dead. you're doing alright. Some incants. No reason not to do that. Never lucky. Alright. Still don't think we incant enough for that to be worth it. Pretty sure Steelworker. I don't think I incant 5 times, let's put it that way. Pretty sure that Steelworker beats this. We could take a drain. I wouldn't mind just draining the shit out of Divinity. So second drain is okay. March of Shields would be the only takeable one here. I mean, important work maybe. I don't love it though. March of Shields I don't think is amazing here, to be honest. I think we're just trying to find dark deals as much as possible. March of Shields would make it so that, you know, we would want to put it on a Cold Kalia, but then it would put Cold Kalia at the front, which would not really be good. Yeah, I think we go for holdover or double stack here. If we miss, it's pretty bad. I mean, if it's consume remove and permafrost, that's pretty fucking shitty. I really have nothing for those. And even like cost reduction is pretty bad here. I guess it's just okay on the drains. Some Pyre Health might be okay. Really don't need it with the Pyre Wall. The Horde might be okay. Whereas I could just go left, Hellvent, the Dark Deal. That's not as good as getting a double stack or a holdover, I would say. It's definitely not as good as that. And then Caverns might be okay. I think in this combo, the Horde chance of being good is a lot better than the Caverns. Think like Railhammer, even any of the Rage artifacts would be good. I could work with a Gurg's Goat even. You know, I could transition actually away from the sweeper at that point, being the main thing, but... I think it's close. I think 75% of the time this side's better. And even if it completely bricks, I'm still living. I think the odds are in our favor for the right side here. Alright, we already got holdover. Great. That is very good. I could also spell chain it, which is not as good as double stacking it. The thing. I don't love any of these. If I'm leaking anything, it's a mini boss or a big tank, and Vapor Funnel's not going to help with that. It might even hurt me with that. Consume Crown is very non-impactful. It's easily the worst Hellhorn artifact, but we'll take it. Might just slightly help us. So we brick on that, but I'm not complaining because we got holdover here. If I could hold over and double stack it, that would be pretty nice. We could just search down that. Wow. That's amazing. That is truthfully amazing. So I don't know what we do with the next one, but this is really good. I think I'd rather actually plus 10 one of these. We really don't need to keep people alive. I don't know though, is this even that necessary? Considering I'm quick on my sweeper. It already kills the thing I would need to kill right now, which is the Spike Channeler. I don't really need to kill anything else. So like, I actually don't know that plus 10 here is like that impactful. Whereas I could just do this, or I could save what little money I have for this Merchant of Magic, which I don't know what I would need though at this point. So I think just doing this is fine. And I could spell chain a drain. I mean, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna do this right now though. Hopefully it's not premature. I don't think it is. We're really just focusing on the main floor at this point. Could be stealth boss, but I have a lot of units for it. And even arguably spell chain here helps with the spell chain here helps with any of the upcoming bosses, honestly. I think we should do it. Multi-strike boss, anything really. Yeah, this is fine. Could do the purge as well, just go to 100. No need. So let me ask this to you. All things considered, you know, you've definitely hit some things, we've definitely missed some things. Does this seem like that bad of a combo to you? I'm at 90 shards right now and I feel fine. I really think it's a good combo. Like, no way does this deserve mention of being like among the worst. In my humble opinion, should have put you down first. Oh well, doesn't matter. Nothing I have cost shards anyway, right? We're just worried about getting that thing going. And we will do this. You can take that out. You're actually going to live one more, which is nice. Even if I bottom deck the thing, I'm not too sad about it. Actually should put this in front. Oh well. Okay. You can do that to create another one. And do this. We'll just let that one be there because we'd like to sap the boss if we can. Alright, bottom deck of that, whatever. Put you there. I mean, we don't actually have to do anything there. We can just try to get some extra armor, I guess. That's not the greatest. Guess I could have saved some more units. But it's all good. I think we'll have a pretty good amount of sap here, so it's all good. One more drain. I am probably going to remove Forgotten Powers at this point. You know, they've done their job. At this point, without any offering cards, they're actually not. They're probably the highest priority removal. Honestly, though, I don't think I need another drain. I think I'm good with the ones I have. Don't need them. Still just don't really have any consumables. So, and the one that I do have, I just don't care about. I think we do just want to remove Forgotten Powers at this point. We have a double stack there. I think that's worth. You know, the plan is to sap Divinity, right? And I don't know that we even need to reroll here. There's really nothing much for us. Double double stack was the best we could find. Pierce. Could have put it on the thing. I just don't think we need it. Yeah, I think at this point, Forgone Powers are the odd man out. And I could even remove maybe really most of them. Eventually we'll get rid of the Crystallises too. I think we can find better use of our shards. Okay, you can get a hidden. You can go there. We can wait for Welder Helper up there. We can just stack sap on that thing. Alright, let's do it in completely bottom deck at that time. But we did our best job at trying, didn't we? Alright. We technically just killed you, but yeah, I mean, we're just trying to clear out space so I can play out my other stuff, really. Bottom deck to the Welder Helper 2, which kinda sucks, but it's just it is what it is. Certainly, certainly this Deranged Brute is a good unit. Is at 175, still should be, oh god, 6 health, or whatever. Still got armor, it's all good. That was interesting. Guess I could have incanted up there. I really don't think it's going to matter a whole lot. We've got 25 sap on the boss. Definitely didn't need another drain. 500 damage there. Weak combo for sure. I mean, yeah, I hit a Deranged Brute, but I don't know. Like, does this need the Deranged Brute to win? I don't think so. Keep in mind, I would build differently if I didn't have the Deranged Brute. It would just compensate more for the offense when we would then have like a self-infused Seal Worker or something for extra defense. Alright, we go Last Stand, or we go Transcendent. There's also just I win type things like this, right? I have a Queen's Impling, I just put the Queen's Imp into the Transcendent. I have a Merchant of Steel and a Merchant of Steel that are very easily hittable here. That's 2 different 50/50s for a holdover. I could even just commit the shards right now. If I had somehow missed on everything up until now, I have that as just a way out to win. Especially with the Forever Flame, I'm tempted to just do that. I certainly could, because right now I don't really have a good endless target. Or I could just take the Last Stand. Which is win more, absolutely win more, but at this point win more is maybe not so bad. But, you know, on that note, if I didn't have the range brute, I would say the last stand is not win more. And it would just be yet another thing I can hit on to make this thing absolutely solid, right? If I didn't have the brute, then these dark deals with the eventual last stand would be totally fine. Tempted to still take the last stand. I'm trying to think what's more. It's just what's more from fun at this point. I know we've already won. So, is a machine gun imp going to be more fun? I could still miss on it. Whereas this last stand, big number is pretty fun too. I think I like big number go boom. Now I could take a pip upgrade here and go with the double deranged brute. And honestly, that kind of sounds pretty good to me. Sounds really good to me. Health here is fine. Let's get rid of that last one. Get rid of a Crystallis. Spell Chain last stand. I can't get it down in cost, so that's probably not going to work. We could purge this out. That's fine. So we don't really have any upgrades to make. Endless doesn't work. We'll just save the money then. Spikes is probably a no-go, even because right now I don't have two of the brutes. So that's a bit unfortunate. Yeah, I don't see Spikes being so good for us. But Spikes is pretty much never good. That's just how it is. Like the Spikes trial, ring 7 is always a bait. It basically just sucks complete ass. Got that early. I get one of these pumping right now. Pumping and thumping. You know, I could wait for a thing, but why not? Let's just get it going now. Get around the Ember Drain if that's something we care about. 149, 159 doesn't kill it. How does this thing not have any Frostbite on it? Oh right, because I only put one shard on it. This one, meanwhile, has 15. Well, guess we're gonna be leaking a little bit here. So be it. So I forgot to make use of that anyway. Yeah, you need to die. Just make it so if that guy does leak for whatever reason, that we don't care about it. You know, I'm glad I took the last stand now, seeing this shit. Alright, they're dead. These guys will definitely be dead. So, no need to play any of that. I could get the thing or whatever, but whatever. It's time for this, yeah. You bastard. Alright. Frenzied Storm, I doubt is needed. Could add an offering card there, but I don't care. Brining Right could be okay to play on the Cold Kalia, but I don't know. it would be at 2 cost. I'd rather just get the Inflame if I'm going to add something like that. I could actually see adding Inflame here. Just gives me a little extra leeway if in case I really low roll against like spikes, or like if I have to start, you know, keep in mind I am at 15 health. It's possible I start Cold Kalia and then 1 Deranged Brute, and then I'm at like 5 health and I just die. That's something to think about. I mean, I think Inflame's even better there though, because if I'm down to 5 health, I obviously can't play that. This could just give me an extra bit of leeway. We probably don't want to go above a... Well, we're going to go to 115. I think I still do want the double Deranged Brute. It minimizes the scenario of that occurring. Shooting Scales. None of these are good. Firestone Housing would be good. I could settle for Founding Seal. Just get extra armor. I don't think it's really all that necessary. Might just want to remove some cards. What do we want to remove? I have 1 draw upgrade. I'd like to keep Welder Helper. You know, we're thinking of the scenario where I draw the Cold Kalia first, and there's not much else, right? I mean, worst comes to worst, I could just go mid. Even that's iffy. And I'd have to draw pretty poorly for this to not work out. It's like I'd have to miss on the drains in the first 2. I'd have to miss on Deranged Brute in the opener, which I'm going to Helvent it, so that's less likely, right? We're down to a 1 out of 3. I'd have to miss on Inflame. I'd have to miss on Welder Helper. But even an Inflame, I guess, doesn't pull me out of this if I'm going to 115 shards. You know, the original plan was to dupe the Brute, but I'm less liking that right now. I could stay at 100 shards and then dupe like the Drain, for example. Also, if I could just go mid and put the Martyr in front. I could also just not play Cold Kalia, honestly. Like, it's surprisingly workable here with how thin my deck is. So I think I am still going to Hellvent this. If I have to just run, like, Brute, that's fine. I think we just want to make removals then. Could do a Founding Seal, but it's just not really that useful to me. We'll just remove this. And this is kind of a shitty breakpoint, huh? But at the same time, I really don't want to go above the shard count, so we'll just settle for the bad breakpoint. And if I have to go mid, I'll go mid. Or bottom. Like, I can go bottom as well. So like this, for example, would be okay, because we start with the Drain, we start with the Inflame. But I probably wouldn't play the Inflame, it would just be Drain, and that's good enough, you know? We have the double dudes, so that should be fine. Still dead, huh? Alright, well, we colored 2 waves with what's his name, that's fine. Guess we're bottom decking that. Happens. As a result, we have Yikes happening. I don't know that the vent helps me that much here. Yeah, whatever. Kinda helps. Lose a little bit of health, it's fine. Alright, there's our bottom decked friend. I use that term loosely. You are a bastard. I'm gonna wait as long as I can on that. Definitely, you know, I think we saw Endless, or did we see Large Stone? I can't remember. I think we saw Endless at one of those steals, so definitely Transcendent would have been better, but it's all good. Alright, there you go. That will do. I think this next fight will honestly be easier. It actually, like, the waves scale up slower in terms of health. At least, like, relevantly for what I care about here. Yeah, those are going to be annoying. So we start with everything we want, though, so that is fine. I just need to hit you. I'd love to do this, but I think we'd rather break the damage shield here. Don't want to do this yet, obviously. So we'll just do it there. Probably should have just went with the drain. It's all good though. We got it here. Kill that. Keep that going. Get rid of these. Get some ink here right there. Alright, Divinity won't be attacking anytime soon. Trying to think what gets me the fastest flying kill here. I think this does. There you go. So, despite me making several mistakes, which I'm not afforded to in a bad combo, right? I'm not afforded those mistakes. Hellventing like a bad like adding basically a Train Steward to my deck early on probably worse than a Train Steward because it's priority draw, right? When I held onto that Alpha Fiend. Not so hot to do that, right? That's what made everything tough, but obviously it was strong. And like, yeah, there was a Drain Sprute, but I would have leaned more toward, incorporating Soul Guard to help with the lack of fast scaling there. Or even leaned into maybe more actual Alpha Fiend scaling, like I could double up a cool Kalia or something like that. This works with, there's no way, like I could redo this seed, do about the same stuff, skip on Deranged Brute, and I guarantee you I could win it, let's put it that way. But yeah, I would say that was a pretty middle of the road, all things across the board considered run. The only really insane thing was Deranged Brute, but there was a lot that missed as well. No Ritual, no Fledgling Imp, I guess there was opportunity for like a Titan Sentry, Endless, but like it just didn't make sense to at that time. I really don't think this is a weak combo. The Forgotten Power, the Queen's Imp, they get the job done early, along with Soul Guard. Keep in mind, we could have just got Titan Channel as well, which absolutely solos the early game. Even if I don't have any extra spells other than just Forgotten Powers, I can pop it at 4. It just becomes an issue later if and I'm even more incentivized to like kind of crap my way into an incant deck with the Titan Channel, right? But yeah, I think there's just no way that this is a bad combo. It doesn't scare me. It doesn't feel bad. It's just like, when I think of bad combos, this is what I think of. I think Tethys and Restore. I could almost add Root Seeds to that as well, but probably not. Tethys, and even any of these Tethyses I don't love, but definitely Tethys Dregs. So Tethys Dregs, Tethys Restore. I would put Soul Guard Dregs into it as well. Not nearly as bad as Tethys Dregs, but it's pretty bad. Penumbra, and basically anything other than Wormkin or Hellhorn, but particularly I think Penumbra Restores. Penumbra Root Seeds as well is pretty bad. I still think Penumbra Root Seeds, or Penumbra Restore is worse though. You're basically, the Restore is better when you get a holo, of course, but there are less holos than there are good backliners in the Awoken Arsenal. So you have 3 good backliners, you only have 2 holos, right? And I'd even extend that to say that Thorn Hollow really isn't typically working unless you get specifically the Shadow Eater infusion. So I really think Restore is worse. I think that Root Seeds makes it so you can miss on Razor Sharp Edge, but still use like something like a Sharpen or a Steel Enhancer in conjunction with the Root Seeds to get a backliner to work for you. So I think the Restore variant is worse. And then I think Penumbra Dregs is pretty bad too. And then also I think Sentient with either one of the Umbra is going to be bad. Yeah, there's anti-synergy with the Morsels with the Cultivating Path, which is typically your best path. Also, of note with the Penumbra in that combo is the Architect sucks, right? It just doesn't have anything for that combo because Awoken doesn't scale wide. It scales tall. Yeah, those are the ones that I would personally say are the worst combos. There's nothing I would ever say involves Hellhorn or Wormkin in when I think of worst combo. Definitely not. Anyway, though, that'll do it for this one. We'll try to keep like a theme going with each of these normal episodes, I think, just to try to have some sort of a semblance of what I want to do with them. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, peace.